This week on Beacon Web News, Kehr heads down to Adams for Ramblefest. Wehry breaks down the latest entertainment news in Wehry Weekly Entertainment, and Jabari Shakir sits down with 2019 Hardman Lecturer Liz Plank. That's coming up next on Beacon Web News. Hello and welcome to the October 16th episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Julia Texera. The career and internship fair will be Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Venable Gym. Dress to impress and bring copies of your resume. There will be professional headshots on-site interviews with even more companies than last year's fair, and raffles with prizes. College night is happening at Six Flags, and SAC will be taking the trip there on Saturday, October 19th from 3 to 11 p.m. for just a $1 deposit. For more information on all SAC events, visit facebook.com/sac.@MCLA. Speaking of the weekend, it'll be a busy one here in the North Adams and MCLA area, and BWN reporter Robert Wehry gives us the scoop on the latest edition of Wehry Weekly Entertainment.
Thanks, Julia. Welcome to this week's episode of Wehry Weekly Entertainment News. Fall is in full swing, and many entertainment events are going on in North Adams. It's a great time to enjoy plays, concerts, or movies. For example, the MCLA Fine and Performing Arts Company will be beginning their 2019-2020 season this week. The first show on the schedule is a new translation of Miss Julie, Henrik Ibsen's classic 1888 play, directed by Professor David Lane. The FPA has been very hard at work over the past few weeks, so please go out and support your fellow MCLA students. Miss Julie opens on Friday, October 18th at the Venable Theater, with additional performances on the 19th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Visit mclaticketleap.com to purchase tickets and view times for the show. Next, singer Orion Sun will be performing at Mass Mocha. She's actually the one-woman project of Tiffany Majette, a multi-instrumentalist and R&B singer. According to her website, one of her biggest influences in her music is singer Frank Ocean. Orion Sun will be performing on Saturday, October 19th. This concert will be taking place at Club B10 and will begin at 8 p.m. Student tickets cost $15 in advance and $44 at the door. Visit massmocha.org to purchase your tickets ahead of time. Finally, two major movies are debuting this week at the North Adams Movieplex. The first is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. This movie is the sequel to the 2014 hit movie and expands upon the Disney tale of Sleeping Beauty. It stars Angelina Jolie, Elle Fanning, and Michelle Pfeiffer, and is directed by Joaquin Ronning. The other new movie is Zombieland Double Tap. The long-awaited sequel to the 2019 cult classic combines horror movie and comedy to tell a unique story. It stars Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin, and is directed by Ruben Fleischer. Both movies are scheduled to open on Friday, October 18th. No times for either movie have been announced. Visit northamsmovieplex.com to purchase tickets and view times. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil is rated PG, while Zombieland Double Tap is rated R for extreme violence and gore throughout. That ends this week's episode of Wehry Weekly Entertainment News. I will be back in 2 weeks. Back over to you, Julia.
The Northern Berkshire Waste Management Company met last Thursday as they discussed the possibility of expansion into the North Adams and Dalton areas. However, the company is still waiting to hear back from North Adams and Dalton on this possible expansion from the two areas. The possible inclusion of North Adams and Dalton would especially be convenient this year, as both municipalities' solid waste contracts expire on June 30th, which is the same date as the districts. To celebrate Family Weekend, join in the fun at the Family Carnival and Chowder Fest. There will be games, bouncy houses, and more. The event will be Saturday, the 19th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Venable Gym. Need help on your FAFSA? The Student Financial Service Team will be hosting workshops on Thursday, October 24th from noon to 1 p.m. and again from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in Murdoch 108. If you are interested in attending one of these sessions, email financialaid@mcla.edu for an appointment and your preference for the noon or evening session. Speaking of fun for the whole family, this past weekend, the town of Adams celebrated Ramblefest, and BWN's Kehr was there to capture the action.
And carry on all day at Ramblefest till it's time to go.
The weather is beautiful and Ramblefest is in full swing here in Adams.
This event has been the best so far. We started in October of 2012, was our first Ramblefest event, and this has been the best weather, the best turnout. There's also a race now that the Berkshire Running Center holds before called the Ramblefest Marathon, 15K. And so they come, so they have their following, and then we have the bands with their following. So this has been the best year yet.
It's a great event, great day, great weather, and a lot of people are out here for it.
Oh, it's great. Nice day. Gives people, something to do.
It's great. I mean, the weather's great. Last year was a little rainy, so this is really nice. It's a perfect fall day, and it's a huge crowd. So we're psyched. We love working with Andrea, who's part of the Pro Adams group that puts this on.
Just community-wide, it's been amazing. Andrea, one of the women that helps us set it up, was phenomenal. And the turnout's been really great. Weather's beautiful, so yeah, you can't beat it. I did the Ramble last year with my daughter. We walked up together. She's 4, so I wore her on my back. It was super fun.
It's wonderful. We got really lucky with the weather this year, for sure. And it's a great turnout. We were just saying how great it is, this crowd that's here behind me.
Stump commented on the experience of putting this year's Ramblefest together.
It's incredible because you want the community to come together, build volunteer base, and have families come, have a great time in our little town of Adams. There's so much beauty in this town, and we celebrate the Mount Greylock Ramble every year, so we thought we'd partner 8 years ago to have a 2-day event with a party and have everybody celebrate at Ramblefest and then hike the next day.
Ramblefest brings the community together with music, food, and fun. For Beacon Web News, I'm Kehr.
And here are your top stories from the latest edition of The Beacon. The second information session about last spring's student satisfaction inventory results met on Thursday, October 8th, and attendance did not improve from the last session as there was only one student present outside of college media. This year marked MCLA's 125th anniversary in providing public education in the Berkshires. Celebrations are currently in the works, mainly starting this spring and focusing more around the college mission than a simple party. In honor of October as Sexual Violence Awareness Month, the Women's Center has been hosting events, including their most recent project, the Say Something Red Flag campaign. The Global Film Series returns this fall with 2 recently released films, Rafiki and Shoplifters. The first film, Rafiki, will be shown tonight, October 17th at 6 p.m. in Murdoch Hall 218. The second film, Shoplifters, will play on Wednesday, November 13th at 6 p.m., also in Murdoch Hall 218. Elizabeth Ornstein, the Educational Outreach Coordinator for the Berkshire Environmental Action Team, or BEAT, spoke at MCLA's Environmental Protection Seminar last Thursday, October 10th, hosted by the Biology Department. Ornstein was invited by Assistant Professor of Biology, Eric Doucette, to come speak about BEAT and its efforts to ensure the wildlife and humans can coexist together in the Berkshires. Liz Plank was this year's journalist for the Hardman Lecturer Series last Thursday, October 10th at Church Street Center. Plank spoke about her first book, For the Love of Men, A New Vision for Mindful Masculinity, Gender in Today's Society, and how feminism has affected her life in the future of patriarchy. And BWN's Jabari Shakir talked with Liz Plank.
The award-winning journalist and executive producer for Vox Media, Liz Plank, visited MCLA on October 10th for her Hardman Lecture to speak on modern feminism.
Current views on feminism. I think that feminism, I just wrote a book about men and masculinity and the need for us to incorporate a more inclusive conversation around gender in a way that includes people of all genders. And so I love feminism. Feminism is the reason I am here at a school and that I'm able to have a credit card. But at the same time, I also would love to see feminism expand its mission. And, I think the mission of feminism is gender equality. I think that the way that we've understood that is to equal women and equal women's rights. And obviously that's part of it. But we also need to think about how gender kind of constrains everyone.
Liz Plank explores the topic of feminism and how it favors for all genders, not just women.
Is rooted in equality. And I think that we are at there's like an urgency for us as a society to address the massive amounts of inequality that occur on obviously so many different levels, whether it's race, whether it's gender, whether it's race, whether it's class, sexual orientation. We're having all of these conversations, separately, but they're so connected.
Plank interacted with students and faculty during her question and answer student session. She also spoke on why she chose journalism for her career, the success and challenges of becoming a journalist, and the advice for upcoming journalists who wants to work in their career.
I think I would encourage all of us to be less judgmental of each other and where everyone is on their journey. So when I was your age, I had, very different, I was very, not at the same place as I am now in terms of my journey, in terms of understanding what feminism means and how to do it. And so, in the words of Roxane Gay, we're all kind of bad feminists, right? And that's okay. It's okay not to be perfect and to, enjoy rap music, but also go to a protest.
And for Beacon Web News, I'm Jabari Shakir.
The Student Activities Council has made their very own haunted house. Come check out the house along with the spooky ghosts and ghouls inside on Friday, October 25th from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. in the Venable Gym. Volunteers are needed for Boo Bash from noon to 9 p.m. on Monday, October 28th. If you are interested in volunteering for this annual event, email brendan.cody@mcla.edu with your availability to volunteer. At Mount Greylock's regional schools, the prospect of more 4-day weekends was contemplated by a district-wide survey recently conducted at Mount Greylock's Regional's 3 schools. Mount Greylock's Director of Academic Technology reported on results of a survey to gauge support for revising the school calendar to consolidate the February and April vacation week and to a single week off in March. This fall's regional survey found a split within the community, with 59% of the district's parents favoring a new approach to the calendar and 53% of the faculty and staff opposed. Build your network and hear from alumni in the communications field about their career paths and how they got their starts. Snacks will be served and all are welcome. The alumni panel will be on Monday, October 28th from 6 to 7 p.m. in Bowman Hall 206. And that's it for this week. To stay up to date with BWN, you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MCLABWN. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.